into your body? Well, this is part 2 of a 3-part series on how to look good, feel confident in your own skin by finding products that have ingredients for that healthy glow. So part 1 was actually last Wednesday. If you missed it, you can certainly go back and watch it. It was about skincare, ingredients that you want to look for in your skincare, but also those that you want to avoid. And this just goes along with good skin care, translates to good health care. So again, your skin is the largest organ on your body, and since it is porous, it absorbs whatever you put on it. Hey, Hallie. It's Marcy Cox here from Knoxville, Tennessee. Welcome back to another Facebook Live. And if that little red light in the corner is not on, that means that you are on my replay. I would love for you to put replay in the comments, and I would love to come back and give you some love later. And I appreciate that you stopped by. If you are new, put new in the comments. I want to welcome you. You're always welcome here. I appreciate you being here. And I know there's a lot out there vying for your time. So if you want to just check it out and see what it's all about, I am into health and wellness and helping people feel better. So also, if you are live, I love my live viewers, actually, you can go ahead and just give me some emojis, some love, some laughter, whatever it was that you liked about your day. Tell me about it. Would love to hear from you. And say, hey, as you're hopping on, I'd appreciate it, and I will give you a shout out. If you want to lurk in the background, that's cool too. You can just kind of see what's going on and see if you want to hang out with us. So tonight we're going to continue to talk about the healthy glow in your skin that you can feel confident in, while also avoiding the ingredients that may be penetrating yourself and causing harm. But first, I'm going to add our amazing president, Hallie Terrell. She is a president of the network marketing company that I'm with, but she's very knowledgeable. Full amounts of those ingredients, because we certainly have that, and we want you to make sure you're looking for that as well. Hey, Sedona, thanks for hopping on in here. I appreciate you saying hey. Hi, Hallie. Hallie's frozen. There she is. Hey, Hallie.
Hey.
Oh, okay. It took a minute. It was a delay. Hallie's the president of our company. She's a super knowledgeable about ingredients we should be looking for, and as well as the ingredients maybe that we want to avoid in our products. So I asked her to join me for 3 Wednesdays to talk about all around skincare health. The skincare you will use will affect what enters your body and can affect your overall health. So she knows the ingredients to stay away from as well. And we thank you for coming on here live, Hallie. I know you're busy, so I appreciate you so much for stopping in and helping us out and teaching us a few things.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
So
I'm
you're
excited.
a little delayed, I guess. I don't know if you'll catch up or not, but I think our volume's good, I think.
Oh.
But maybe we'll catch up. So we want to help people understand that reading ingredient lists it's important to their overall health. We want to eliminate the toxins, the chemicals, the preservatives, and even the fragrances that can be harmful to our bodies. So, Hallie, what is it that you want to add here?
Well, we had talked a little bit last week too, that it's a lot like paying attention to what we're eating, that I think that's really translated into skincare, that people are paying more attention to what they're putting on their skin because it is getting absorbed. So I know a lot of your viewers are very conscientious of health and wellness, and we all try to be the best we can with what we eat and drinking more water and all those kind of good things and getting our 10,000 steps in, with our watches and all that kind of good stuff, that it only makes sense to be more conscientious about products that we're using, especially on your face is important, but the rest of your body, what you're using on your hair, all those things come into play. So, there's one side of the fence where you could be, making your own deodorant in your kitchen sink and storing it in the refrigerator. And I think that's not that convenient for most of us. Or we can maybe sort of just, pay a little bit more attention to those good ingredients. So, I know people kind of fall into all categories, but I know your viewers in particular are, try to pay attention, at least be educated, because of course knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And the more we can learn,
Thank
the better.
you. So let's talk about ingredients you want to have in your body care products, because the body care products we are putting and slathering on all over, and it's all over our body, and it's important that maybe our body lotions, that's a big area. So what do we need to look for when we're putting all that lotion in our bodies and over our entire bodies for the most part?
Right, because we always say we're also concerned with this, which is important. You put your best face forward, but there's a lot of us, some of us more than others, from here down. So you do want to pay attention to that. So a couple of things, think about kind of the way you eat. Ingredients you've heard of before. It's kind of a lot like with reading food labels. So, look for vitamins, vitamin C and E, or antioxidants. Look for those kinds of things. Look for things like glycerin, so good for our skin. A lot of people love hyaluronic acid. It's pulling moisture from the air. So even if you live in Texas like me, where it's hot and humid and there are tornadoes everywhere today, you still want your skin to stay hydrated because our bodies are craving water. So hyaluronic acid is something important. So that's the thing, shorter ingredient lists, ones where you read the name of something and you're like, oh, I've heard of that before. I've heard of vitamin C and vitamin E. I know what those are good for my body when I eat those things. And so they're good for your skin too. So those are kind of some main things to look for. And then things to maybe avoid would be things you've never heard of before, big, long, chemical names. And I know it's hard to know what everything means. But then things that can cause irritation, things like, artificial fragrances, you don't necessarily know where those come from. Dyes that we add to things to make them pretty colors. We all like pretty colors, but sometimes our skin doesn't need those kind of things. Parabens is another one. That's a preservative that's not great for us. So just, again, being a little bit diligent about what you should and shouldn't see, but, without maybe going too crazy with it. But it kind of, once you start paying a little bit of attention, kind of like with food labels, you start to recognize things and go, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Or, oh, that's one of those, naughty list kind of things that I should try to steer clear of.
I love that our body lotion, actually the third ingredient is hyaluronic acid. I noticed that today. And that's not really typical in a body lotion, because I think our philosophy on the body lotion is what? You explained that so well, that what we do for our face, we want to continue that on our bodies.
Right. So, we want to take care of our skin. We want to protect it. You want your skin to be hydrated. So you want to use ingredients that are benefiting your skin. Things that are, when we add peptides to something, that's helping collagen production. You want to do those good things that are kind of tricking our skin into cell activity and doing more for us. So looking for things like hyaluronic acid that's pulling that moisture from the air, looking for those vitamins, those are all important. And we've put those in our hand and body treatment. And we purposely didn't call it a lotion, because lotion just sounds, lotion to me is just something that smells fun and we slather it on. And I always tease my daughter, if you want to smell like a pina colada, that's one thing, but that's not doing anything for your skin.
Exactly.
Typically. We all like pina coladas, but it's a lot of chemicals and things. So you're really trying to do more to protect your skin and keep it healthy and keep it hydrated, especially. And then some of those vitamins and things are good. We get age spots on our face as we age, and we certainly get those on our arms and our legs. So getting things with those good vitamins can really help with that too, just like it does on our face. We all wear, whether you're a shorts wearer or a sleeveless top, we're all showing different parts of our skin. And even if you're not, you just want it to look as healthy as possible.
We don't want to feel tight, and we don't want that dry. Yes.
And
My
feel
husband
right,
will
for
even
sure, for
use the
sure.
hand
Yeah.
and body treat. Obviously, there's no fragrance. So my husband uses it, and he does not like anything
Mm-hmm.
greasy. So it's a great blend to not have that greasy feel,
Right,
but yet feel hydrated. So those are some great ingredients in that
right,
for sure.
right.
So the second thing I want
Yeah.
to talk about is something a little bit more intensive and dense, and that's cocoa shea butter. We hear a lot about that. That's a buzzword, cocoa
Yes.
shea butter. Let's talk a little bit about that because I have the worst feet in the world. Here I'm telling the world, but I love this product for my heels. You
Right.
typically use a dense product like this for your elbows, your knees, and I use it on my legs. As I age, that crepey areas, that you just want to
Mm-hmm.
kind of help smooth out. So, what
Right,
is Coco Shea, Hallie, and why is
right.
it such a great product for these areas?
So a lot of those shea butters are so good because they're essentially trapping moisture into your skin. So especially if you use a good moisturizer or especially a good cleanser in the shower, we'll talk about that too. That then you want to kind of trap that moisture in, and my feet are suffer with that as well. And I think you and I do a lot of walking and exercising, and it's hard on our feet. So you want to get all those steps in, but you don't really want the results of doing all those miles walking. So that shea butter is really going to moisturize, but it's also going to kind of trap that moisture in there. So that's a really anything where you see the word butter, like a shea butter, and they have some different names. We actually have 4 different shea butters or 4 different butters in that product. And they are going to trap moisture, and they're so intensive you wouldn't want to use those on your face, for example, because
Yeah.
that would just be too heavy for the skin on your face, and could potentially block some pores. But for your your heels and your elbows, those kinds of things, it's great because you want to now hold in that moisture that you've put on, especially if you've used a good product in the
Cool,
shower or a good
cool. Yeah.
moisturizer.
I actually have a question here if I can pull it up. I have,
Trying to
I
make
don't
it
know
where I'm
what
not
to.
so
I
bright.
have raised places on my hands and arms that bleed
Well,
when scraped. My dermatologist said that I need collagen for those places. What do you recommend?
hmm yeah. So they kind of are raised bumps. So 2 things. One, I would really look at what you're using in the shower as kind of a body wash kind of thing. So you want something that's going to be hydrating and kind of help those areas a little bit, because I think once they get irritated, I know exactly what she's talking about. They'll kind of get bumps, and they'll bleed, and your skin's trying to repair that, but they just can't on its own. So certainly I would say you need more hydration. Um, that cocoa shea could do wonders, but I think the other product we're going to talk about, the body wash, where there's something that has like glycerin and those vitamins and a lot of moisturization, I think would really, really help
Right.
without
Good.
causing any irritation. So again, our bodies are just starved for moisture, starved for hydration, and the more we can hydrate, you're kind of helping protect your skin a little bit, and that would help a whole
Thank
lot.
you.
Um, so in that hand and body treatment, like we were talking a minute ago, just even putting that's we can't say that it
Right, right. And we would
medically
never say
cures
that.
different things, but certainly we've seen right. But certainly trying to use good ingredients on those places
Absolutely.
definitely benefits your skin, and kind of helps your skin do what it wants to do, and it wants to be healthy, and cells want to regenerate, and your body wants to make collagen. It just
Right.
needs
And
a little help
this is
kind of getting
somebody's
there.
asking me, does being a dense product tend to be more topical and take time to soak in? The answer to that is yes. But I'll show you the difference. Here's the hand and
Yes.
body treatment. It's kind of like lotiony. It rubs in. The cocoa
Sure.
shea
Yeah.
is more dense, if you can see that. I got too much. That would take a
Mm-hmm.
long time to work in, but I don't want to waste it. But you see how much
Right.
creamier that is. And it even and something about ours,
Right.
and I don't know about others, but we have our product is 40% cocoa shea. You don't see that a lot. It's not normally the first ingredient on cocoa shea
Right.
butters, but and I don't know where it is on our list, but
Right.
we've
Right.
got 40% in ours, and it smells awesome.
Yeah. So if we put 40% right, and 40% shea butter. So there are a couple different ones in there, a couple different butters. But yeah, it's it's and ingredients are a lot like in even in the food industry where if you want to say you've included I don't even know. I mean, some vitamin. Or look at our cereal, the cereal industry. They'll say this cereal has, all these different vitamins. Well, we know good and well, and I'm not going to badmouth any cereals because those cereals are good. But we know good and well that's not a good source of
Right.
vitamins for our kids is to feed them those sugary cereals. But they can put enough in there to say they did. And that's a little bit what's happening with the skincare business is they'll put a little trace of it in there to say they did. So, a consumer might look at that and go, oh, look at this has, shea butter in there, but there it's, 20 down on the ingredient list. And there are a lot of other petroleums or alcohol-based products, which alcohol, we all know, sucks the moisture out of everything. So suddenly, why would you put something that has alcohol in it on your skin that's just going to dry your skin up and damage it to turn around to say, oh yeah, there was this tiny little speck of,
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. So again, it's, a lot of that's marketing and we have to pay attention and be mindful of those ingredient lists
Exactly.
and kind of looking
Exactly.
for those things.
So
So
I hope that answered those two questions for you guys. If it didn't, if you'll rephrase it,
yeah, I
I'll
hope
try
so.
to get a better answer. But those were great, Hallie. Thank you very much. Um,
Yeah,
so our third,
sure.
which you hit on, was the body wash. There's another part of the we use all over our body is our body soaps, and some bath soaps leave your skin feeling
Mm-hmm.
dry, rough, tight, itchy when you get out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And couple that with scalding hot water
Right.
that we usually like to use, it can strip our skin
Mm-hmm.
of those natural
Mm-hmm.
oils. And we talked about that last week with our faces. A lot of people like that tight feeling because they think that's
Right.
the clean feeling, but really you've
Mm-hmm.
just stripped
Clean.
all
Right.
that moisture from your skin. So you don't want a tight
Right.
face after you cleanse, and you don't want a tight body
Mm-hmm.
after you cleanse. So you want emollient rich
Right.
cleansers that add moisture back into the skin without leaving
Mm-hmm.
a greasy feel. So talk about the body wash and
Correct.
what maybe people should look for, or soaps.
Yeah. So, that body wash is such a tricky thing because we all get dirty and oily and greasy, especially if we've worked out or whatever, and you want to feel clean. And a lot of times we feel like that big sudsy foamy is what we need. And a lot of that comes from sulfate-based products. And sulfates, if you've looked at that at all, there's kind of a mixed bag on those, that they are kind of a detergent. It's what gives a lot of products suds. And if you try to avoid all sulfates completely, that's kind of hard. We did create a body wash that's sulfate free, and also added a lot of rich emollients to it. So kind of when you're looking for something, if you can find something that's not with sodium lauryl or sodium lauryl
Okay.
sulfate, that's a little gentler to your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin. So you want to look for things that don't say the word self ingredient list. And sometimes that can be a little tricky. So we created one that does not have that in there, but it does still have a lather to it. It does, suds. We've also left out the color in it and left out the artificial fragrance. We add a little bit of a Madagascar vanilla bean extract in there to give it just a little bit of a smell. But even if you look at that body wash on the ingredient list, again, it's things you recognize. You're going to see vitamins in there. You'll see the sodium hyaluronate, which is the hyaluronic acid. You'll see products that are your ingredients that are really hydrating. So while it's cleaning your body, you still want to add moisture. And that's really important, especially the lady that's asking about the bumps and things. if you're using a sulfate-based cleanser in the shower, which may feel good and you feel like you've gotten really clean, but if it's just stripping all your natural oil, especially too, and not leaving anything behind, then now our body's just like fighting to make more. And we want our body to work on, turning over our skin in a good way and cell generation, not fighting to repair. And that's basically what you're doing when you're stripping all that oil. You're putting your body in that kind of, panic mode where, oh gosh, I've got to repair this and produce more oil. And that's a vicious cycle in itself. But yeah, that product, it has, if you read the ingredient list again, the things that you're going to recognize, and vitamins and that sodium hyaluronate. And I even wrote a few things down. Oh, there's shea butter in that product too. A little bit of shea butter. So things that are going to make your skin feel really hydrated. I know I went through and I wrote some of those down because it's even hard for me. And I read those lists all the time of what's actually in there. But it's, so it's a great thing where it's not stripping away. There's no sulfate, there's no fragrance or dyes. But then it does have these leave behind conditioners too. So even if you didn't follow up with a body lotion of any kind or a body treatment, you're still going to stay really hydrated when you get out of the shower. And again, people with sensitive skin or dry skin, or if you like a hot shower, it makes a big difference to have those leave behind conditioners.
Absolutely. What I love about our products too, and a lot of products out there are like this too, but we can actually say, because they're fragrance free, they all can be used by men. Mm-hmm. And our skincare system is used by men. We have several men, many men on this system, but also all of our hand and body treatment, our cocoa shea, that cocoa smell leaves, it doesn't stay around. The oomph, all of those. Right. Are used, and that leads me into just a couple of more products we're going to hit on, because it's very important that men know they need moisturization too. Most men use alcohol-based shaving creams, and what we need to teach men is not doing them favors when it comes to their skin. What they need in their shave creams is moisturization. So let's talk about the shave cream, or shaving products. They can look for ingredients that they need. If they don't use ours, it's fine, but it can be helpful to them to know what they need to be looking for out there.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of men, and I think about what my dad used and my grandpa, and, is the old fashioned shaving cream that was an aerosol that foamed. Most of those had an alcohol-based product, but they got real foamy and they put it all over their face. And that's, I think, what we thought was a good shaving practice. And shaving, really, if you think about it, especially those of us, who shave our legs, we know how brutal that is. I mean, you're taking a razor against your skin, and the razor doesn't really discern between, especially like you have any bumps on your legs, you have anything, the razor's not going, oh, that's a bump, I won't bother that, but that's a hair, I'm going to get that one. I mean, those razors just hack away at everything, which is a little unfortunate. So a lot of guys, especially if they get any shaving bumps or they get any irritation and then they go to shave again, I mean, that's where you really cause problems, and you can even introduce bacteria and all kinds of terrible things. So a couple of things to look for. One, I wish we could just erase what we all saw our dads and grandpas doing with those alcohol-based shaving foams, because they didn't do much for the skin. I think they did provide something for the razor to grab onto, but there are just better ways to do that now. So there are a few different butter kind of products, and you'll see the word butter in some of those names. We actually have something that has the word butter in there too. It's a shave butter. And so it's a little different than a shaving cream. So you put it on and it's almost the consistency of like, kind of like toothpaste, maybe that weight. And they're going to put it on their face and it almost melts. So Marcy has that there. It almost kind of melts into your skin a little bit when you put that on. And it's going to create a barrier between your skin and the razor. So, and it's almost like when you put that on and then they start shaving, and I know this because my husband uses it, and also I use it on my legs. But it's really going to help prevent against any nicks or cuts because it is creating a barrier between your skin and the razor. So now the razor is just going with anything that's kind of coming through that shave butter product. So it's kind of a whole different concept, I think, in that hair removal. The other thing that it does is because it has all the moisturizers in there, it's not irritating. So they're not going to have all those, different bumps and things. Sometimes they get those shaving bumps. So they don't have that irritation, which then helps them the next time they shave. I know my husband, if he ever got any, things like that, the next time you shave,
Yep.
you're just kind of cutting that back open, and it's, I know, and that's a vicious cycle. So shave butters are really interesting product. They're kind of a newer thing on the market, but they just make so much more sense to put kind of a block between the razor and your skin so that the razor can do its job, but it's not, slicing your skin in the process. So most men say they see reduced nicks and cuts, reduced shaving bumps. A lot of guys say their razors seem to last longer, which
Right.
makes sense if you're not shaving as much skin, and they're getting a lot smoother, closer shave. Plus it's better for them. So it's not, it takes the alcohol out of it, takes that, that dryness, which we know how our skin feels like if we put an alcohol-based product on our bodies. So it's really kind of a win-win, but it's a little different for men. So for men out there that haven't tried a butter-based, like a butter product before, it's a little different
They want
because
that
you think,
foam,
where's the
yeah.
foam?
Yeah.
Where's the, because they're used to seeing that. So, but once they get used to it and give it a try, then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, now I get it. So it's just kind of build a better mousetrap, and I'm glad that a lot of people are
My
catching on
husband
to it
uses
because
it
it
and
is
he
so much
really
better.
does like that. So after
So,
a man shaves, is it
yeah.
necessary to still moisturize after that?
Mhm.
And okay.
Yeah, they really should. And so there are a couple different things because, like you were saying earlier, with our products, because they don't contain a fragrance or a color, they don't smell like a lady's product. A lot of men use our regular products. We talked before about our day cream product and some things like that. So a lot of men do follow up with that, but men really should moisturize. We did come up with a men's kind of after shaving, we called it like a post shave conditioner that has many of the same ingredients that are in our regular the day cream product, but we just kind of packaged that for men so it could kind of be that shaving butter and that product together. So it's a nice little duo to give someone, but you want to moisturize after you shave. I mean, and again, think of us with shaving our legs. I mean, there are not many of us that would shave our legs and just get out of the shower and not put any lotion on. I mean, I can't imagine doing that because
you have to put lotion
just
on.
shave your legs. You need now to hydrate. Yeah. But a lot of men, what do their dads do? And oh gosh, those alcohol-based, the aftershave things, the Home Alone and he screams. He's screaming because it hurts. So that was really cute when Macaulay Culkin did that. But, we've come a long way since then, and science really shows us what our skin needs, and guys need to moisturize.
It is.
Really
So, anyway, so really I think, on everything that we use on our bodies. Pretty much. If I missed something, then some ingredients that Hallie did mention that you should look for. And really, this is all about feeling more confident in your skin, having a glowy skin, younger looking skin. It just makes you feel more confident to walk around, to walk in a room, to just have that confidence to just live and have the impact in this life that you are created to have. So we're just here to help in any way that we can to do that. I hope it added value. Thanks again, Hallie, for coming on here. I really appreciate you. and teaching
Sure.
us
Thanks for
about
having
good
me.
body care.
Thanks.
It was really valuable information. I appreciate it. And thank you to everyone on tonight who
Good.
joined
Thanks for
us.
having me.
We had a lot of fun. Hope y'all did. Hope you got some value. Hope you learned something along the way. And feel free to share if you got some value out of this. And I do have a list of ingredients of some naughty ingredients and nice. So if you want those, I'll be glad to get those to you. Just private message me and I'll get those to you. So anyway, that's all we have tonight. So we're going to say good night and y'all have a very good evening. Good night, everybody.
Good.
Thanks, Hallie. All right.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Mark.